Who doesn't want to be able to hit a decent drive every once in a while? We have good news for you. You don't need to change your golf swing to get that extra driving distance. Just make these 4 simple adjustments to your setup and you're good to go. Here's some advice straight from golf's Hall of Fame teacher Mike Adams. At number 4, square your lead foot. Provided that you don't have any major problems with your joints, Adams recommends squaring your lead foot to lock up and straighten your lead. This will give you that extra push off the ground and allow you to freely release the club as you go for that shot. By doing this, you're also making more room for your torso to rotate past the moment of impact. It's going to be that full and easy follow-through that you're looking for. When you point your lead foot slightly more toward the target, you are opening the left hip, right hip for lefties, and promoting a more fluid turn. You are also allowing your weight to shift from the right to the left when you go for the downswing. Not only does this improve the power of your shot, but also adds to your balance. Now, number 3, strengthen your lead hand. Adams recommends turning your lead hand away from the target to strengthen its grip until you're able to see more knuckles on that hand. This will make it easier for you to naturally and smoothly release the club through the forward swing and transfer maximum energy to the club and your ball for maximum driving distance. Many golfers lack the strength in their lead hand to control their clubs as they're going for the downswing. This leads to a loss of control of the club, which not only causes an unintentional change in direction of the shot, but also significantly decreases the driving distance. Most amateurs will often approach their grip with too much tension. They either hold the club too tightly so their movements are stiff and short, or they hold it too loosely and the club waggles in their hands. To swing it just right, you need the right amount of grip pressure. Not only that, but you also need to be careful of where you are applying the pressure. You should ideally support the club with the last 3 fingers of your left hand, and those fingers need to be gripping the club the firmest. Never let the club slip into the palm of that hand. In the right hand, the middle 2 fingers need to be doing the heavy lifting. The thumb and forefinger should be relaxed. As you go for the swing, remember to keep your right hand free enough to let the club head fire through the hitting area. Number 2 is to close your stance. Your stance may be the most important feature of the game. The golf stance essentially sets you up to shoot your shot. If your stance aims to the left, your balls are headed left. If it's aiming you to the right, your balls are headed right. The stance not only affects your alignment and launch angle of the shots you're making, but also the driving distance of your shot. If your stance isn't solid, you're gonna end up having a pretty hard time completing the swing the way you would like. Adams recommends closing your stance by dropping your trail foot slightly to the back. Not only will this make it easier for you to twist your torso back and create more potential power and coil, but it will also produce a greater in-to-out path when you get to the downswing. The closed golf stance requires your feet to be on parallel line aiming to the right of your target. Your shoulders and hips need to be aligned on the same line, so the stance will likely look like you're trying to hit the ball right of the target, even though the target line and club head are pointed straight at the pin. The advantage of the closed stance is that you won't slice the ball when you're too close to the target. The closed stance might also lower your ball flight, which will get it rolling a longer way. You'd be surprised at the distance your ball will go when you have a solid contact with the ground and some gravity in your swing. And number 1, tee the ball higher. Do you use one of those tees with lines on it that gives you an idea of how high the tee needs to be? Or do you just use your pinky? Or do you prefer to go by feel? There are many different theories about how high you need the tee. Adams says that teeing the ball higher will add an ascending angle of attack to your ball. So when you swing from low to high, that attack will take some spin of the ball and launch it higher. Teeing the ball higher gives you a much better chance of swinging up and hitting the top part of the club face. This launches the ball higher and prevents a spin from holding back the drive distance of the shot. Less spin equals more roll, but the right height does vary depending on the kind of shot you're trying to hit and the playing conditions. When it's calmer and the fairways are soft, you might want to tee it higher. In a windier setting though, teeing the ball lower would make more sense because a lower flight would reduce the effects of the wind on the ball. You'd be able to get more control on the ground because, again, more spin equals less roll. Just remember to avoid teeing too high or too low. The highest it should be is with half the ball over the top of the driver, and the lowest with the top of the ball just slightly higher than the top of the club. Next, Mike Adams, Hall of Famer. As a Hall of Fame golf instructor, Mike Adams has stood by one simple message: no 2 people are built the same, so they can't and shouldn't be taught to swing a golf club in the same way. He says, a golf swing is like a suit, best tailored around your own unique body. Adams is a nationally renowned instructor for the game, also known as the Swing Doctor. He has been in the golf instructing business for over 3 decades, so you can trust him to dish out some of the absolute best advice when it comes to upping your game. He is one of the most sought-after instructors in the nation, a man who has dedicated his life to helping golfers of all levels improve their game. Adams appears on every Golf Magazine Top 100 Instructor and Golf Digest Top 50 Teacher list that has ever been published. That's not all. He has also written and helped write a total of 18 instruction books for this beloved game, 2 of which are Golf Magazine Instruction Books of the Year, Play Better Golf and The Laws of the Golf Swing. He also created the Laws of Golf, which is a philosophy meant to guide golfers to find their own swing catering to their own bodies. Owing to his expertise in the sport, Adams has been hired to teach USGA champions and PGA and LPGA touring professionals like Bryony Baird, Chris DeForest, Michael Sims, Brett Wetterich, Scott Scott Langley, Mark Brooks, Bob Estes, Hank Cuna, Trip Cuna, Rosie Jones, Betsy King, Belen Mozo, Kelly Cuna, and Nicole Hage. He has even taught 4 of our very own presidents: George H. Bush, George W. Bush, Gerald Ford, and Bill Clinton. Even some celebrities have sought him out: Jack Nicholson, Willie Nelson, Michael Douglas, Jim Palmer, Mike Schmidt, White Palmer, and Keanu Reeves. Now, getting a second opinion from the longest player on the LPGA Tour. Anne Van Dam, the female golfer who led the LPGA Tour in driving distance last year, backs up many of Mike Adams' tips for adding driving distance to your shots. She also adds a few of her own tips and tricks, which you may find helpful. Van Dam also recommends teeing the ball up higher to hit it further. She says that you need an upward angle of attack to get that driving distance, and the easiest way to do that is to try and hit up on the ball. This means teeing it up with approximately half the ball above the driver's head. She adds that moving the ball position forward has also proven to be helpful for her. Just move it a little farther in your stance so you get a proper angle to attack to hit up on the ball. Everything she does is to achieve an angle of attack. Another useful tip Van Dam has to offer is evenly distributing your weight. That's one that most golfers are already aware of, but few get just right. Van Dam says she prefers to keep her weight evenly distributed between both feet when she is setting up. This allows her to get in the perfect position to move in on the ball with maximum strength. Finally, she recommends focusing on completing your backswing. Make it long and make sure you go all the way through with it. She says, a lot of people try to swing it hard and they already start their backswing. I try to feel like I'm smooth and then I go. Well, that's all we have for you guys today. Did you find these tips helpful? Let us know all your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. See you next time. Bye!